right, good morning, everyone. Denise, Sekuze, Skyze. I'm losing my voice a little bit. I don't know if it was from the fashion show screaming I was doing, or the 80s show screaming I was doing, or the dancing and band that I was doing. It was an amazing night. I want to ask my communications team to please stand up. I was joking with one of them that Benna and Lisa and I used to plan this event on our own, and one of their eyes got big, and I said, oh no, it wasn't fancy like this. I've heard nothing but great comments from everyone, and I just want to give them another big round of applause. I think they did such a good job, and I'm so proud of you guys. Oh, I got a clicker. There we go. I'm actually going to go a little bit forward and backward here. So the communications program, really externally we help programs to get their messages out, and internally we help programs to collaborate and make sure that everyone is, as Warner says, in the same boat, rowing in the same direction together. So for external communications, our core functions include supporting CSFS programs, managing our website, our social media pages. As many of you know, I always repeat them at these events, but we are on pretty much all of the social sites that you are on, including TikTok most recently. So please do follow us on any of your favorite socials. And if you have social channels that we're not on, I know that there's some new ones that the younger kids are using. I try and check in with my nieces on them to stay current. But if there's ones that you'd like us to consider, please make sure that you let us know as well. We want to make sure that we're getting the messages out to you guys on the platforms that you want them on. We also, of course, have our Guzi Das Les newsletter, which comes out every second month. We do send those out by email, but also if you have elders or people who don't have internet or prefer to just get a paper copy, we're happy to mail them out. So when you go to our website, if you scroll to the very bottom, the best way to get a hold of us, it just says info@csfs.org. That is your email to reach anyone in the organization. If you don't know who to ask, you go to that info@csfs.org. They'll send your message to who it needs to get to. So keep that in mind. We do assist programs with communications planning, research, campaign development, and media. I do have a few little things that I'll touch in on areas that we've helped other programs in my presentation here today. Oh, I got to go backwards, I forgot. So the biggest thing that I actually reported that we were working on last year that we have now launched is the You're in Healing Hands. Oh no, I'm talking about the wrong thing. Sorry, this is the Practice Differently campaign that Kayla mentioned. She talked about the Practice Differently campaign. I have to say that communications did a lot of collaboration with HR that I'm really proud of, the work that we did. We were able to increase the traffic on our website by 33% with that campaign. So I think it did really well for boosting the acknowledgement of the jobs that we need. And then the Healing Hands of CSFS is the one that I was talking about last year as a goal. We've done a lot of work on this campaign over the last year. We did a survey at the beginning of this past year. We had over 700 people answer. What we wanted to know is, what do you know about our programs and services? What do you not know that you wish you knew? And how much do you trust us to be able to provide those services? And one of the questions that came up yesterday was around transparency and trust, and this report says exactly what you said. They are tailored for each community, so on your way to grab a coffee or next time you walk by the back there's a table right across from the sign-up table. These books are for your community. They're also available on our website. On the Healing Hands landing page. You're going to hear ads for it on the radio. You're going to, I believe, Chief Priscilla Mueller voiced those, thank you. And we also have a social campaign coming out. And these are going to be delivered as well, door to door. So we really want to make sure that everyone knows about the services that are available to you in your community. That's what these are for. They do a good job of sharing where we're doing really well at letting you guys know things, and they also share some opportunities where we can grow. and the executive are aware of those, and we're working on addressing any areas that we can improve on. So I'm really happy about this campaign. It's been a lot of years in the making, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on it. So please check out those booklets. Let us know what you think. So one of the other goals that we had last year was working with what we call our community of practice. We're super happy that over the past few years we have nations that now have their own communications professionals, and we want to help them and collaborate with them in any way that we can. So to that end, we've created the community of practice where we meet quarterly to share best practice, to talk about issues, things that we're dealing with, how we can support each other to get the word out. So that's something that we're really excited about. We are also working with the Northern Lights Canadian Public Relations Society. I can never remember what they're called, but anyway, they're doing a local conference here in a few weeks, and so we've partnered with them and are going to be supporting our members of that community of practice to attend. Sorry. For our internal communications, we are currently hosting all staff quarterly Zoom meetings, and that's really an executive platform to share updates with the staff. We launched a staff newsletter within the last year. It's been really well received. Another way of making sure that across all of our various buildings and locations that all staff have the same information. And we've had a lot of increased engagement, about 10% from last year on our internal website. It's called Intranet, but basically it's just the hub where we house all of our information, and that's been doing well. Last year, we did collaborate, and I think Kayla already talked about this in her report, on a values campaign to accompany the updated respectful workplace policy. I won't go into that because Kayla touched on it. Again, I said you'll see lots of overlap because that's what we do. We just help programs to get their message out. One of the things that has been really, really successful about that program that I will touch in on is the Snachalia Staff Recognition Program, where staff can recognize each other for upholding the values of the organization. And it's just a great way to lift each other up. And I love seeing those come through. So over the next year, we're going to continue, obviously, supporting the organization to reach its goals. We're working very closely on the jurisdiction project, as well as capital building projects, ongoing campaigns, recruitment and retention, the healing hands that I just mentioned. There's always a need for our services. We're always happy to help. We will also be providing media training to program staff and executives to support streamlining our media process. And that's something that we can also, if the community of practice is interested in, that's something that we can support with the nations as well. We do have an Office 365 migration happening, which basically we're moving all of our information. I'll talk a little bit about it in my IT report, but we're moving all of our stuff off of physical servers and into the cloud because it's safer. And Office 365 is the best way for us to be able to collaborate with each other. So as a part of that, the communications team is going to be working closely with IT to help that transition. And we're also going to be, finally, in preparation for the jurisdiction, we are going to be doing an audit of our communications program, really making sure that we have what we need to be able to support the organization through that transition. And I'm just going to go straight into information technology, and then if people have questions at the end, I can just do them all at once. So for information technology, we last year actually did our external audit. We had an external company, MMP, come in and do a complete audit of our program. They gave us a whole bunch of recommendations, big, huge report. It was excellent, one of the best things I think we've ever done. We've implemented almost all of them at this point, so it was a really, really good exercise. I highly recommend anyone who is, even within your nations, I'm happy to help you set that up if it's something you're interested in. It was really, really good for us. As a part of that report, we hired a director of IT. I have John with us here, John Reed, who is a great catch for the organization. He's an IT whiz and also a lovely human. And so he's been helping us to adopt to the latest technology. As a part of our Office 365 program, we are actually going to be implementing data governance within it. So, and data governance, just in case you're not familiar with that term, it's just ensuring that only the right people have the right access to information and that people who can't access it don't. In a nutshell, that's what it is. And so we're going to be automating it through the deployment of our Office 365 so that it's just automatically set up. In a paper system, you have to do that with policies. Ours is going to be automated, so I'm quite excited about that. We've hired an extra help desk staff person because the organization grew, as we've talked about really quickly. IT's been lagging behind, but we're quickly catching up. We've hired one help desk person, and we've got another few positions on the burner to hire. If anyone from any of our member nations is interested in a career in IT, the opportunities are absolutely booming. There's lots of training, we can support people if you're interested in getting to training. There's lots of free training. We can advise depending on what you're interested in. Please reach out to us if you're interested. It's a career that is absolutely skyrocketing right now. Again, as a part of that review, we have implemented a lot of standard operating procedures just to make sure that we're using best practice in everything that we do. We have a really robust backup and disaster recovery plan. I won't go too much into that because it'll probably put you all to sleep, but it's really good. That's all you need to know. With the if you actually want to know more, we can tell you. With the ongoing threat of cybersecurity crime, we've really enhanced our security posture in all areas. And on that note, I just want to mention that if any nations are wondering about your security posture, again, ask us. We can connect you with people to help you. And one of the things I will ask all of you is if you're not using two-factor authentication, you must. Our personal information is so important to safehold. It is the gold standard now. Anything less than that is just not acceptable. And also, I just want to put a plug in for passwords. Lots of people use the same password over and over. Please don't do that, especially for your banking and for anything work-related for personal information. You must have a unique password that is really hard to guess, because if you use the same one everywhere, and say I get some pictures printed at London Drugs, and I use the same password there as my banking, and then London Drugs gets hacked, which they did, now bad guys have my password for my banking, and that's actually how they get stuff. So please do not use the same passwords. That's my little plug for internet safety today. Oh. What's that? Oh, and the coffee's ready. Very important. I also wanted to mention, too, that we do have our staff go through mandatory training. It's called Know Before. It's a subscription service that we subscribe to, but they do have free tools as well, and I recommend anyone who needs to for either work purposes, or personal. If you're interested in resources, please reach out to us. It's just so important, and I think too about how many elders I know that have gotten ripped off by cyber criminals. Like, it is just so important to be safe online. So never hesitate to reach out for resources if you're interested. And we'll be sharing more of those actually in the upcoming year. I have some meetings booked with TELUS here shortly. They offer some free resources that we're hoping to roll out in the next year or so. Our Office 365, I won't go too much into this, but we made significant progress. It was a lot of work to move everyone off of the server for our email onto the cloud. That is now done. Our pilot for moving the rest of the staff over for the rest of their Office suite has completed as well, and now we're just, as people are ready and on a priority basis, we're just moving people through. And as I already mentioned, we're going to be automating the data governance within that. And also down the road, we're going to be having our own AI built in. And again, with AI, I would encourage you all, it's an excellent, wonderful technology that is going to help us in so many ways if we use it right, but it must be used right. Never, ever put personal information into an AI that you don't own, because that information is now public. So please use it and use it well, but use it safely. So goals for IT, we have actually already done this, implementing a new help desk system just to streamline when people need our help so that we can help them as best that we can and have the right data available. Continue to migrate our staff to the Office 365 platform, operationalize the data governance like I talked about, work with programs to make sure that they have the functionality needed within the CSFS ecosystem. So before programs would just kind of pick their own platforms, and we're going to move towards having IT involved in that just to have a more seamless, a more seamless ecosystem, as John has taught me. I'm learning the IT lingo. But really, when you have a lot of different platforms that you got to sign in, sign out, sign in, sign out, sign in, sign out, it's a pain in the butt, and it doesn't make for an easy work experience for the employees. So that's one of the things that we're going to be helping programs with to make sure that things are easy to access and that the platforms are doing what we want them to do, because as we all know, they're very expensive, and they should be helping us to do our work easier. And then we're going to be, of course, focusing on the structuring the IT team to meet the organization's evolving technology needs. So again, we're a growing team. We're going to be evolving in that structure to make sure that we can best support our programs, to best support the communities. And that is all I've got. Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, we have a question online that says, can you send a care package to Yakuche Health Center for distribution to our members, like agenda, newsletter, books, whenever we can, please?
Absolutely. We do currently send out the Guzi Das Less newsletter, and where's Andrea? Do we send it to the health center? I'm sure we can bolster it anyways, absolutely.
We do, and we also send the AGA booklets too.
Okay. The AGA booklets will also be coming, so absolutely. We'll put together a big old package and send it out for sure.
No more questions.
Okay, anyone else? I thought Maureen told me she had a big scroll that she was going to roll out with questions, no? She was just teasing me. All right, thanks everyone.